Hi everyone, Stepan here, finally with another training game. This guy has a provisional rating. I haven't played any games in almost 2 months because I had a family thing going on. It's almost over now, almost everything is okay. And I'm back to being able to think clearly. So yeah, I haven't recorded any training games. From now on, I'm going to try to record them regularly. Okay, we have the Queen C2 Nimzo with D5. We're going to take the best way to take is with the Queen. Yep. Knight F3 or E3. Okay, let's go Knight F3. Yeah, as I said, I haven't been playing a lot of chess, and now I'm finally back to playing chess. Unfortunately, we might have gotten a really tough opponent. Okay, this is the theoretical move I'm supposed to take. And this is supposed to be roughly equal, perhaps slightly better for white. We have to watch out for knight e4. So bishop d2, I think, is the move. Bishop d2 castles e3 or e3 knight e4. No, I think bishop d2 is the move. Though I could be able to get away with bishop f4. Wait, let me think. Bishop f4, knight e4, bishop d2. No, that doesn't work. Okay, let's just go bishop d2. I have to say I have never played against a person that knew this position up to queen f5. So I don't have a lot of experience in this. I don't think I've ever had this position, actually. But still, we have a slightly better pawn structure. Shouldn't be anything major, but it's something. Yeah, I'm going to try to play games at least semi-daily, something like that. I have a tournament coming up in 15 days. Until then, I'll try to play as many as I can. And I also have some plans for videos that I hope are going to be interesting. I would like to hear from you guys. I did a poll a while back before this family thing started. Which types of videos would you like to see more of? I'm back to regular recording, and any input is appreciated. Why is my opponent thinking so long? He played this position up to queen f5 a tempo, and now he starts thinking. So either I made a mistake, or... Okay, I'll just play e3, because that seems sensible. I may consider castling queenside. First of all, I want to go bishop d3 or c4, I'm not sure. Most likely c4. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is going to be a complicated game, because he most likely will want to play for f4, and I'm going to have to prevent that. That being said, bishop d6 is possible straight away. So what's the most natural square for the bishop? I think bishop d3 is knight h5 or knight g4 annoying. No, wait a minute. Bishop d3, there's perhaps castles short, rook d8 and c5. My bishop isn't defended. I'm not a big fan of that. If I go rook c1, then takes on a2 is playable. Still, bishop d3, at least I'm going to force g6 when I go knight h4. If I go knight h4, and I can go king e2. Okay, that's fine. On rook d8, I can go king e2. I don't have to castle. This way, I'm also supporting e4 if f4 does come. We'll see what happens. Until I play king e2, I don't really have any good discoveries on the bishop. But when I play king e2, I may be able to play something like knight b5. And if cb5, then bishop b5 check, and bishop b4. And if bishop d2, then knight c7. Bishop d2, knight c7, bishop somewhere, let's say a5. Knight a8, knight d7, followed by castles, and I most likely lose. So that's not an option. Perhaps I don't want my king on e2. I'm not really sure. At this point, I think I want to play a3, and on bishop d6. Okay, this is normal. So a3, bishop d6. Do I want to go b4? b4 followed by b5. I think I do. So let's throw in a3. Okay, so b4, preventing c5, f4 doesn't work yet. Yeah, let's go b4. Am I running into a5? No, because of b5. a5, b5, c5, wow. I should have spent some time on this. a5, rook b1, takes, rook a4, rook a2, rook c, rook a3 is all fine. Yeah, I could go rook b1. I don't really want to go b5. a5, b5, c5. a5, b5, c5 takes, knight takes is no good. a5, b5, c5. I don't really have d5. That would be funny. a5, b5, c5, d5. It's actually a possible variation here. Yeah, I need to go king e2 or castle because a5 is a huge problem. My rook is undefended. That's a very common way to put pressure on a pawn on b4 or b5 to go a4 or a5. Yeah, I should not have played b4. Although if I hadn't played b4, my opponent would have played a5 on the next move. So okay, let's see, a5, rook b1, ab, ab. There's no bishop b because rook b and rook a1, there is knight b1, bishop b1, or knight d1. So that's fine. There's no rook a4. There's rook a3. But is that really a big deal? I just go b5? I'm not sure. I'm going for a very standard undermining of the pawn on c6. And I also want to keep preventing c5, if I can. Okay, heads over to the c4 square. I'm happy they didn't play a5 though. So if I castle knight c4, if I go bishop e1, there may be b5. Sorry, a5. Or even knight b2. I could go knight e5. Knight e5, bishop e5, d5, knight fd5. How do I fight against knight c4? I didn't even consider knight b6, c4. Okay, is it time for b5? b5, knight c4, bc6, bc6. What if b5, c5? b5, c5, dc, bishop c. No, that's no good. Okay, let's look at knight e5 again. Knight e5, bishop e5, d5, knight fd5. That actually seems good to me. I have the bishop pair, and my king is going to sit on e2. I'm preventing knight c4. Well, not really. In the long run, I'm not. Okay, I'm going knight e5. I need to at least grab the bishop pair if I'm gonna allow knight c4. Ideally, my knight would have gone to d2, but my bishop's on d2, so I couldn't really do that. And if takes, knight d5, I believe I may be able to go e4 straight away. Takes, bishop takes, knight takes, bishop takes, seems good to me. So bishop e5, d5, knight d5, e4, knight c3, bishop c3. If f e4, then bishop e4, knight c4, or even bishop c4. I don't know, this seems okay. If I was black, I don't think I would take. Wow, what? Why would you play g5? Wants to play f4, okay. But I have e4. So I think I'm just gonna castle. And I've earned the move. Knight c4 doesn't really come with tempo because I'm attacking the f6 knight. And on knight d2 I have rook d1, knight b3, rook b1 works. And the reason I castled instead of king e2 is because on knight c4 I don't want bishop c4 to be check if I decide to take. Instead, I gain a tempo by playing rook c1, and the bishop's going to have to move away from c4. So, say bishop e5, d5 if knight c4. I can take on f6, and then knight d2, rook d1, knight b3, rook b1, or knight e4, probably bishop e4. Or I can even take on c4, bishop c4, rook fc1. And then if this knight saves itself, I may have something like knight a4, bishop somewhere, knight c5. I'm ahead 4 minutes on the clock almost. There's a guy watching the game called Ala Dubov. I like the handle. I'm not sure what g5 was about. I'm not really a big fan of the move. Also, why didn't I go h4 instead of castling? h4, h6 would have lost, so g4. Okay, does he go knight c4? No, knight c4 just loses. I take and then take on f6. My god. Okay. This side I didn't see at all. It's fine because I can take on f6, but... I don't really want to give up my light squared bishop. Then again, I don't want to give up my dark squared bishop either. Okay, I think I take on f6. I don't see anything better than this. Okay. So if I go rook d1, then he has knight c4, bishop e1, rook d1, knight a3, rook a1, and there is knight b5, cb5, rook a7. That seems sensible. Oh, it's stupid. There's bishop b3. Oh. There's bishop b3. Oh, I'm misplaying this. Is bishop e1 my only move? I guess so. I really don't want to play bishop e1. Why didn't I see bishop b3? I guess I could go knight b1. Knight b1, let's say castles, bishop c3. I don't want to go knight b1. I'm gonna go knight b1. This is very bad. I'm hoping I'll be able to go e4 at some point. Hoping. For example, if knight d5 here, e4, fe4, bishop g5. May be playable. Because then my knight can come back to d2. There's no doubt that I'm worse. I might even be losing. But the pawn on f6 is a nice asset. Why didn't I see bishop b3? I often play games without noticing my opponent's ideas. I did not see rook d8. I'm hoping I'll be able to go rook c1. Yeah, okay, now I go e4. I think I have to go e4. e4, fe4, bishop g5. Seems forced. My opponent's just preventing knight c3, but I think I don't really have a choice. I think I have to do this. I definitely have to liberate my pieces and start developing, so. Or if knight f6, I'm developing, I can go ef5, bishop f5, rook e1, bishop e3. Or even on knight f6. No, knight f6, take on f5, bishop f5, bishop g5? Do I have to worry about rook g8, bishop h3? No, I have rook e1. I have rook e1. Okay. We take on g5. No debate there. So, bishop h4, rook g4, g3 seems okay. Do I have anything else? Not something that keeps my pawn, I don't think. So I'm gonna go bishop h4. If bishop h3, no, I'm an idiot. I don't have rook e1 check. There's still a pawn on e4. Jesus. Yeah, I'm going to lose the pawn on f6. But I don't think I had much choice there. Luckily for me, my opponent didn't play bishop h3. Okay, I'm not gonna hold on to my pawn. I'll just develop, I guess. Can I go g3? g3 seems very suicidal. g3, knight e2 check. King h1, bishop g4. No, I cannot go g3. There is no way. If knight d5, at least I have bishop bishop e5, but then bishop h3. Oh, I'm so lost. Why would you do that? I don't get that. He could have gone knight d5. Or she, excuse me. I think there was a lot more to be gained. Why? I don't understand this. Okay, so I'm gonna lose a pawn. But can I at least develop? So, the way I see it, rook c1 is my only move. If I go rook e1, rook f6, rook e4, there is rook d1 mate. So, rook c1, rook f6, knight c3, say bishop f5, for example. Oh, there's also rook d2 if I go knight c3. Okay, I still have to do it. I don't really have a choice. Oh, that's a very good move. I don't see anything else other than taking. Okay, knight c3, if rook g3, I go knight e4, knight c3 if... what else can they do? Rook e2 I take. So I'm guessing the rook has to stay on the e file. This way I'm preventing knight d5 and finally developing. Sorry, bishop d5. Okay. How can I even fight in this position? Maybe knight a4, c6? I'm gonna try that. I don't know what else to do. Oh, there's just bishop d5 now. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, let's resign. Oh, this was so bad. I'm sorry you had to see this. Let's analyze. Let me just expand the thing. Ugh. So you can see the engine. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so queen f5. Can you guys see this? Yes, you can. So queen f5, ef5. Bishop d2 is playable, though a3 is the main move. Okay, fine. c6 is best. e3, bishop e6, bishop d3, knight bd7. a3 now is not one of the main moves, you castle. But okay, bishop d6. Yeah, okay, people play king e2 here. There is a Grandmaster game. Let's see. Equal. This is fine. Knight b6 is best. It has to be best. b5. Oof. Oof. Yeah, I should have gone back to f3. Because of this rook d8 idea, I'm just busted. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, takes, and even castle's queenside. Rook d8 is good enough, but castle's queenside is tremendous. Yeah, this is over. Yeah. Wait, knight f4 is best? That's a crazy move. Knight f4 is best. Why is knight f4 best? Yeah, e3 constantly worked. Yeah. Okay, this is one of the worst games ever. Ugh. Okay, I hope to do better in the next one. This is just awful. Let me just go over this position once again. So a3 is best. The bishop does not go to d6. Why not? It could go to d6. Oh, because of knight b5. Okay, bishop e7. Bishop f4, c6, e3. Yeah, this is much more normal. This is a normal position. Okay, so I didn't know the exact theory and I messed up very early on. Not a good game. I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully a better game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye-bye.